I spun my car in real life and I saved it. And the thing that scared me wasn't a spin. It was that I didn't decide to save it. So this happened at the 24 Hours of Lemons in April 2026 in the Carolina Motorsports Park. I was about 40 minutes in my stint and I was coming down the back straight, maybe 90 to 100 miles an hour. It's a hard braking zone, right fast-hander. And as I downshifted my car from 6th to 4th gear and I released the clutch, the revs were too high. My car immediately lost the rear and spun to the inside of the corner. I couldn't quite save the spin, but I controlled the spin. And as the car was spinning, I went on the grass, I stopped the car, pointed in the right direction, and safely came back to the track and rejoined the race. At the moment, I had no idea what happened, just that downshift didn't quite work as I thought, and I didn't even know what I did to hold the car. I just did it. But after the race, I realized that what I've done in real life was one thing that I've done thousands of times in iRacing. I just had never realized I had built that skill until that very moment. I probably spend 100 hours a month doing sim racing, and in my entire year I probably have something between 10 and 20 hours in a real life track. So this gap means that whatever I build in the sim is gonna translate to real life, not the other way around. There's not a switch I can flip and have one behavior in the sim and a complete different behavior in real life. And because of that, I have established some sort of mental contract with myself, which is every single time I'm racing in the sim, I pretend I have to pay for every single damage of my car. Broken wheel, broken mirror, like a damage to the side, collision, whatever happens, blown engine, I will pay for that out of my pocket, at least in my mind. And that's because it helps me keep the stakes real, because once I go to real life, the stakes are definitely gonna be real. And recently I had two examples of this in the sim racing. I was at Oldham Park fighting for P1. I had way more pace than the guy who was in P1. I overtook him and then he just went crazy. He was dive bombing, trying to brute force his way around me, and because of that, I was trying to avoid the collision, going off track sometimes. I wasn't able to avoid the collision, so he was crashing into me to the point that I ended up being disqualified from the race because of the many instant points that I collected. And in another instance, a couple weeks back, in Okayama, I was in P2, and I didn't have as much pace difference to P1, but I was catching up, and we're 2 laps to go. And they were defending the P1 with their souls. So every gap I saw, they would like move on braking, they would try very hard not to lose the position. And looking that we're just like 2 laps away from crossing the finish line, I could have made the choice of all or nothing, or I could have made a choice of let me hold P2. And if they make a mistake, I'll just capitalize on that and get P1. Otherwise, I'll just finish P2. And I chose the latter because that's what racing clean is. It's not I'm avoiding the race. It's not I'm accepting the fact I'll be P2 and I'll do nothing about it. It's more about if this was real life and I was racing this guy, would I go for this dive bomb and risk both of our races trying to get a P1? Probably not. The team would be very upset if I destroy the car, or like if I have a P2, try to go to P1 and I finish P10. But in those two instances, and really like in every single race I've raced in iRacing, I have been developing my skills. And the fast hands that I had trying to save the car in real life came from the hours and hours of practice and races that I had in the sim. And one thing that really made it click to me was I had an onboard camera. And after I left the car, I got a footage to review and see what happened. And one of my teammates was this older guy. He has about 20 plus years of experience. He has raced SCCA races, Spec Miata. He has owned cars. He has co-owned cars. Now he just raced for other people. But I asked him to review the footage with me to try to understand what happened and how I could avoid it from happening again in the next day. And as we were watching together the video, once he saw the instant, his immediate reaction was, what you did there really saved you from something much worse. And I'm just impressed with how fast you reacted and how fast you did the right thing. A lot of drivers, even experienced drivers, would have taken much longer to react to it. And that's when it really clicked to me. Because I have this mentality, when I'm spending hundreds of hours here in my sim, whenever I came to the real life, I didn't have to think about it. My body knew exactly what I had to do. And practicing clean races, practicing controlling spins, I ended up developing the skill. And in real life, that actually saved my race. And you might be thinking, yeah, everybody does that. And not quite. I have 3 real life races under my belt. In 2 of those, the one in Road Atlanta and the one at Carolina Motorsports Park, we had crashes that the cars rolled over. In Atlanta, the car rolled over 11 times. At CMP, the car rolled over 2 or 3 times. And if I was developing the overly aggressive mentality in the sim racing world, I would just be overly aggressive and I could be one of the drivers in a car that's rolling over. And honestly, I don't think anybody wants that. And here we are. Year is 2026. My road to 4K is the goal of the year. I'm about 1.8K from my goal, and I could probably win more races if I was just more aggressive, but in all honesty, that's not gonna develop the habits that I want to develop. So I'm gonna earn every single iRating point by driving clean. I know it's gonna cost me races. It already has, but I'll still make the same decision every single time.